I think Ethereum goes over 10,000 this year.
Wow.
But it was following very historic chart patterns. It's started to deviate a little bit, so it's been a bit slow where it currently is. Same with Bitcoin. Generally, at this historic points in these crypto bull markets, this December period tends to be extremely strong. I don't see any reason why it should be different. There might be some tax-based selling in the US and other bits and pieces, but I don't see a reason that it'll be wrong. I think Ethereum ecosystem is a faster growing, deeper, richer ecosystem than Bitcoin is. So Ethereum is a very important part of this whole ecosystem. The move towards ETH 2.0 is a huge step in the right direction of the ability to stake and get yield. So it's creating a money market and a yield curve around Ethereum that doesn't involve DeFi. That's super interesting. It'll become quite a deflationary asset. A lot of people staking, which we're seeing, all of these coins coming off exchanges, being staked, locked up in DeFi, locked up in NFTs, locked up elsewhere. And that means there's very little supply. There's about 11% of all Ethereum is available on exchanges to buy. So you put an institutional demand in the middle of that and there's not enough Ethereum. So the probability is the price rises all the way into ETH 2.0, whenever that is, somewhere between March and June. And then we've got this unique situation where everybody who's staked is still locked in for a period of time, but the rest of us know they're all going to be sellers after it because they want to release some of their capital. So the market will front run that because the market likes pain. So if you're locked in your DeFi contract, in your staking contract, the market will front run your selling and you'll be selling at lower prices. But from what level? That's the question. And my guess is that level is more likely to be 20,000 than 4,500.
What do you think about the competitors, the smart contract competitors? Do you think like Solana, Polkadot, Cardano, and so on, they can beat Ethereum in the long run, or do you think the game is already, the decision is there, and Ethereum will be the #1 smart contract platform for the next years, for sure?
I have no idea, and I think people worry too much about this. All I do know is the size of the pie is increasing 100x. So if Bitcoin's dominance goes down and Ethereum's dominance goes down and Solana's dominance goes up, they're all going up in price, which is interesting. So we're aware of the trade-offs. The trade-offs are less decentralization equals faster blockchains. So that's basically the trade-off. And so people will take their choices. And so I think there's room for all. Now, I think over time, there'll be different adaptations and different chains will become larger that we aren't aware of right now, or maybe Solana does. The point is, I don't know. And that's why we need to have diversified portfolios in the space, keep an open mind, look at these network effects, who's getting adoption. Right now, it's very clear that the 3 tokens, layer 1's getting adoption: Solana, Luna, Terra Luna, and Avalanche. And you'd probably say the Binance chain as well. So those 4 have seen huge adoption, but they're coming from a lower base. So you tend to get faster price rises coming out of them as well.
The predictions you made are very bullish. And my question is, what are the risks in the market? Keep the market down.
I think the risk is that just the rate of adoption slows. Maybe because we're all in the middle of this world, we think everybody's excited about it. And maybe people just come into the space slower than we imagine. And then people are probably excess positioned for that. So we'll get down and sideways markets. But let's be clear, Bitcoin has basically gone nowhere since March. We've had a whole sideways year so far. And Ethereum's had a much better year, but it's basically been sideways for the last 6 months. So, we've kind of had that year where things have been slower than expected. So I don't see regulation at some points will cause some issues. I don't really have a fear for the space. It's too mature now. Yes, we'll go through booms and busts, but there's nothing exponential. I think we've gone through the Lindy curve moments of testing, is this going to survive as a technology or not?